Yeah, hi guys, you join us from Waterloo Place. 1 year ago tomorrow, this building here used to be the police station. The police station was torched after a riot broke out. Of course, riots broke out across the entire nation, across 18 towns in the aftermath, of course, of Axel Rulikabana's killing spree in Southport. The building here used to be the Citizens Advice Bureau. That was caved in. The front window was caved in by frustrated locals. That's now moved a couple of blocks down there. I'm joined by my next guest, and that is a Conservative councillor for the Sunderland area, Dominic McDonough. Dominic, we're here a year on, and I've been speaking to locals all across the dockside this morning. The thing they keep saying is that nobody ever has really spoken to the people around here. Nobody's ever engaged with them. Why do you think this was almost the perfect tinderbox, those riots 1 year ago?
People feel really forgotten. I mean, on the riots, there was two things. People were bussed in. There was troublemakers who just wanted to destroy things, absolutely 100%. But there was also people who were really frustrated. You know, they see services getting worse. They see more tax. You know, they have to pay more tax. There's less money in their pocket. They're really struggling. So I think some of this was through frustration, and unfortunately, we're still seeing that frustration.
Dominic, one of the key things that people don't seem to understand, which I'd like to explain to GB News viewers now, is the city of sanctuary. It's a nationwide scheme. Sounds great, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What it basically does is it's local authorities join the sanctuary scheme, and then they are paid by central government to take asylum seekers into an area, usually Labour councils, has to be said. That's what happened in Sunderland. 830 asylum seekers taken into this area, and as a consequence, social housing, a huge shortage. In fact, there's a backlog now of over 1.1 years for locals to get on that ladder.
Yeah, I think that's a major frustration. I mean, I spoke out against the sanctuary city when it came to council a couple of years ago, and not necessarily because we don't want people to come to this city. I mean, this is a very welcoming city. We don't mind helping people, but there was no plan put in place. I warned that we needed a plan for housing, we needed a plan for school places, we needed a plan for, you know, doctors' places, and that was never put in place. On the face of it, the sanctuary city was a really nice thing. It was saying, oh, you know, welcome to our city, it'll be absolutely great. But I warned that there was no plan in place, and that's why we're struggling. And unfortunately, people living in the city are now really annoyed because, you know, they're struggling to get doctor's appointments, they're struggling to get schools places, and they see this as one of the reasons. It's not the only reason, by all means, but they see it as one of the reasons.
Dominic, one of the common threads again across the 18 towns that saw riots, not only is the huge amount of asylum seekers per capita, but the lack of economic opportunities. Sunderland, the global epicentre of shipbuilding, of coal mining, latterly of glass making, all of that has gone away. There's a backdrop of social depravity, and the local communities feeling there's nothing for them to do. Economic outputs, the educational outputs are poor. There's a scarcity of opportunity, and yet when they see people coming in and getting everything for free, there's frustration.
People want opportunity, like you said. They want jobs. They want to be able to, you know, earn their keep. They want to be able to earn a good wage and get a good job. And at the minute, they can't do that. Things are getting worse. You know, the unemployment figures are going up, and people are really, really frustrated. We need to turn that round. And unfortunately, as a city, they don't feel listened to, and actually they feel sneered at often. And if they raise, for example, you know, concerns about immigration, they're shouted down, and that's really dangerous, because if you don't listen to people, they're going to turn around and, you know, they're going to make themselves heard in other ways, and that's really dangerous. We need to listen to people and stop sneering at them.
Dominic, it was worse than that actually, because they were called by the Prime Minister far right. And I wanted to ask you, as a councillor who understands the heartbeat of this area, how helpful or unhelpful was it for the Prime Minister to call people around here far right?
It was incredibly unhelpful. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I said at the start, you know, some people were bussed into the city who were far right, who just wanted to cause trouble and cause, you know, huge amounts of damage. But there's also people here who have legitimate concerns, and they want to be listened to. And for the Prime Minister to come out and say things like that, once again, it's sneering at people, and that makes people feel belittled, unheard, and really frustrated. It's dangerous, quite frankly.
Dominic, I want to ask you this simple question. 1 year on, have we learned anything in Sunderland? And nobody wants there to be more trouble, but do you think that this could still be very much an area on edge?
I really hope not. The Labour Council turned around last week and they announced that they're not accepting any more asylum seekers into the city. Does that mean they've listened? I'm not so sure.
Well, because they're full.
Well, well, perhaps. I hope it doesn't happen again, but politicians need to start listening and stop sneering.
Dominic McDonough, thank you very much, Conservative Councillor for Sunderland area. Join me throughout the rest of the day. I'll be doing my show 3 till 6 p.m. from a working men's club, speaking to former coal miners, the beating heart of the community, and a soup kitchen where veterans, British Army veterans, are being served soup while Asylum Seekers as well. They're enjoying the life of Riley. Stay with us throughout the day here in Sunderland.